So, Glotta is getting some character development in the penultimate episode of her being alive. Oh well. Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about episode 39 of Kamen Rider Gavv. So after a sad recap of Honta telling Kenji to keep his promise as we see him die on screen, which is pretty sad, we see Shoma covered in paint asking Amon that they're done for the day as they want to visit Dente. As they think he's sick for the little TT law, thinking that it's probably cavity or something due to his old age. As Amon remembered the promise he made to Dente about not telling Shoma about what he did to create the Gucci pod, as he decided to join him. I would see Lizel visit Glotta about the dark trees, as he thinks that what she got is not good enough. As Glotta says that yeah, they are the good ones, which I don't think so. And Lizel thinks she's popular than Glotta, as she says that she hasn't been told about G's little thing he did with his Gavv. As he tells Glotta about the fact that G modified his Gavv, which pretty much shows that yeah, she left her child in the dark of what he did to himself, as Glotta leaves. And pretty good at the opening. We see have over a master mode in the little bubbles now with Shoma walking in the opening. That's all that changed now. After the opening, Shoma and Mane meet with Dente and Lakia there. And he actually wants Dente to actually finish off his little anti-toxic thing. He's been active for a couple episodes now. Even pressured by Lakia all the time, Dente just doesn't want to work at all. He seems to be very tired now. They want to go out in order to eat a lot of sweets. And they showed a picture of it, a bunch of pudding. It looked pretty good and pretty delicious, as everybody seems excited the fact that Dente wants to go out and actually visit them. But Lakia tells him what would happen if he actually did go outside. He got due to the fact that he doesn't have a human disguise. And a pretty funny bit of the fact that we actually see Dente outside actually eating some of the sweets, that people get panicked and run away as some army guy come in and just shoot him point blank. I really like the fact that we have some dark foreshadowing of this little funny gag of him dying, and then the beginning scene that he's probably on the floor almost dead as well, but he's not. Pretty much foreshadowing that he's dying and a lot of fake out. And they don't think about what did you do right now, due to the fact that they spread the word of the granule. Adama thinks about making him some of her own pudding, some pudding a la mode. Wait, pretty much foreshadowing Lakia in final form. It was pretty cool to see. And then they get motivated for the fact that he's gonna get some delicious treats and decide to go back to work, as the duo just drag Lakia with them, which seems to be shocking Lakia. Hey, yeah, that's right, Lakia, you're gonna be working with us now. Meanwhile, G meets with Niep, telling him about the fact that his Gavv is actually okay, nothing is different at all. As he pretty much started complaining about why he couldn't defeat Shoma at all. Well, maybe thinking, yeah, you can't defeat him because he's in his final form. You're in just in base form. Calling it grotesque as well, which just shows how much he still hates Shoma. Alitel calms him down by saying that he didn't die, so that means it's a good thing, that he still has time to improve. We were making him docile like a little dog, allowing her to follow her, which is pretty sad to see. Alitel asks about the toxins about Lakia and Lango that we're using to Niep, and she tells her that Boca wants them as they leave. With Niep seems to be a little bit frustrated about the whole situation. As the mother and Lakia talk about making some pudding, and she tells him that Dente is not feeling well at all, as he wants to help him keep his spirits up. And Lakia didn't notice it at all. Pretty much sad little thing saying that he's the same thing with Comel, and he couldn't notice the fact that his personality and his behavior were becoming different from before. Pretty much saying that he always had a problem looking into people's problems and actually never knew that many of them were suffering. It's pretty much sad to know that he's been visiting Dente a lot, had to know that there's something up with him. And the manager tells him to join with him to find a platter as they go to see a store, meeting up with Kisara and his wife. Interestingly, they're played by Nobura Shibasaki and Yumi Okuda. I pretty much butchered their names, so sorry. Not really much about the actor, they're just really much appearing in other writer shield, just as minor characters from like Kabuto 5 and all that. They walk in looking for a plate as they're trying to find a plate for the a la mode pudding that they're trying to make. And it's a funny little moment of Lakia actually choosing the right plate, saying that it actually tastes really good and high quality. And saying that one of the plate is sour, so it won't actually go with pudding, which is pretty funny to see that, yeah, because you know, he's a granule, he actually eats rocks, so I'm guessing that these metal things probably some sort of mineral that makes them able to actually identify that they actually taste good and have high value, but still pretty funny seeing that he hides behind one of the plates, but he's trying to act why he thinks that it tastes good. Meanwhile, Shoma's shopping for some of the food and actually meet with the Candy Man as he talk about the fact that the Candy Man actually visiting his parents' grave, which again, just seeing foreshadowing the fact that, come on, they had to be something important. And a lot that happened to them when he was actually growing up. As we meeting up with Honta, as the Candy Man decides to go back home to put the stuff away and also go visit his parents' grave. Honta also busy with a job and he decided to leave Shoma behind. As Shoma decided to go back to help out with making the dessert. After you see Honta still looking and investigating for Shoma's family, as Honta realizes that he's in the wrong area, in the wrong district. It was a pretty funny little scene about that. He decided to have to go back to District 3. Meanwhile, Niev looking at some of the data he got from Bitter Gavv. As Glotta comes in, pretty much interrogating him about the fact that Jeep actually doing it to himself, that why she wasn't informed at all. And Niev knows that nothing would have changed if she would have informed or not, as she's somebody that would always actually use physical violence as a way to get her point across. We're pretty much proving her point that she actually gets mad at Niev and just grabs the tablet and throws it on the floor. Proving his point. And then, how convenient that the research data was erased and instead showing a picture of Dente. So yeah, I think that's a little convenient and contrived that she actually throws it down there as the information of Dente alive. But anyway, she thinks that Dente's alive. And Niev tells her he's in the human world, helping Shoma, as she seems to be getting intrigued by it and annoyed. Speaking of the game, we're actually looking at them creating the pudding. Pretty cool that they're making the pudding. It looks really cute that all three of them are actually making it. And pretty cute that the grocery store are actually mimicking themselves cutting the fruit when Shoma's cutting it. Pretty funny to see and pretty cute. As they finish up to go meet up with Dente, Dente is getting tired for all his work he's doing, decided to go to sleep. But then Glotta comes in, she starts grabbing and attacking him and accusing him of everything. And she says she wants his help to come back to Stomach Inc. Saying that everybody she knew had been disappearing left and right, as she is the only one left to carry the family legacy. But was getting crying, almost seems like she's sad. Wanting Dente to come back in order to work for her, keep the family legacy alive. But instantly, Dente see through her little lie, saying that that's not actually the company she's worried about. She's just lonely, or the fact that many of the people she knew in her family are leaving left and right, leaving her alone. As she pretty much thinks that he insulted her and actually pretty much throws her to the ground. And Dente seems to be pleading with her, saying that she still has a brother, saying that Shoma is still here, saying that she can still reconcile with Shoma in order to be with him and actually have a good starting life here. We're pretty sad to see that, yeah, Shoma is still here. Actually, Shoma tried a lot throughout his life, tried to connect with his older siblings, but nothing had ever happened. But yeah, tried to reconcile with him and actually wanted to live life here with them and saying that she will never be lonely again. But then she just gets angry, just slashes at him. And pretty sad we don't actually see it, but I think that makes a better effect to me that we don't see him actually getting slashed. As the gang arrive, it's pretty sad that they're singing happily, getting happy to show Dente the treat. As they walk in and seeing Glotta on top of Dente, who's actually dead. So yeah, Dente's dead, shocking everybody as Glotta says that she'll never be with Shoma ever as she leaves. As the gang tried to and failed to wake up Dente, as they tried to get him up, but no, nothing actually gonna happen anymore. Lakia tells them that yeah, he's gone. Which is just a sad little scene that yeah, he's gone forever. Lakia noted the slash on him, saying the same wound as Comel as he chases after her. Which you have to see him confront Glotta about the fact that he's actually Comel's killer. And they had a pretty good little civilian fight scene. We actually see a pretty cool little fight scene about them not transforming, actually seeing them just try to attack each other with. Well, the Lakia tried to attack, but failing, and Glotta just getting on top of him, just knocking him down. It's pretty funny to see, but it's also pretty sad that he can't do anything. He's still pretty weak. Anyways, yeah, Dente had the same slash wound that Comel had when he died. And pretty much showing the emphasis of the meme. Probably I'm showing right here about, do you know how little that narrows it down for like Blythe from Batman Beyond? That meme everybody always makes fun of. Say that she doesn't even know who he's talking about because she had killed so many part-timers that, yeah, it's not important to her at all. There's no value to her, which needed to anger Lakia. We have to see a little flashback of her actually finally killing Comel, even though Comel tried to run away but failed to. Instantly, she almost killed Lakia by actually pinning him to a tree and then actually dropping him down, trying to land on her side. But he actually dodges it by kicking the tree, trying to attack her, but then she just strikes back by headbutting him, which is pretty little funny thing, but also pretty sad that yeah, Lakia can't do anything. As they both transform, one to her rider form and her into her monster form in order to fight him. It's pretty not really much of a fight, more like humiliation of a fight because due to the fact that Lakia can't really do anything other than just dodge attacks and just dodge beams, but then nothing happening at all. And pretty insultingly that Glotta actually stepped on his weapon and actually throws it to him. Extra humiliation to show that how much he's not worth it to fight. Lakia just grabs the weapon and performs a finisher. And Glotta also gets her own finisher, denying the fact that she's lonely at all. Denying the fact that Dente actually was right. And they both clash with a finisher. Clash last long. Due to the fact that Lakia tried and fails to actually defeat her and actually get knocked out of a transformation. A good thing he didn't destroy the driver because due to the fact that nobody can actually fix it now. Tells us he's on the list of the people that have not worked at all with a good part-timer and decided to kill him as well. But don't worry, Shoma's on the way. And as transformed to an overform, actually sends her flying, which is pretty funny to see. And yet, she's actually sent flying, leaving behind a path of destruction. Which is pretty cool to see. But it's still sad that Dente is still dead. Also sad the fact that Lakia is frustrated as he attacking the ground, or the fact that he's weak at the episode end. Overall, it was a pretty good episode. I actually expect a little bit more for Dente's death, but due to the fact we're actually getting Glotta's character arc, it's pretty nice to see that Dente didn't die during the debut of Over Gavv and Master Gavv. I think it would work better at the death tribute to Dente, so pretty good to see. I would say that Glotta is getting character development pretty good, but I think it's a little bit too late now that we're having her about to die probably next episode. We have to wait and see if she'll die or not, or to pull a jeep and just stay alive like a cockroach. But yeah, now Glotta, the most hated character in the entire current Gavv show. So yeah, screw Glotta. I hope she dies. I will say that it's a little saddening that, yeah, we're not gonna have this much character development. It would be really interesting to see how much Glotta is lonely, or the fact that her family is leaving one by one, either by death or leaving them alone, like Chief just leaving to be with his wife. But yeah, we have to wait and see how that's gonna turn out with the next episode. But the fact that, she doesn't know the fact that Niev is the one who's been supplying Lakia with the driver, and also despite the fact that he actually been kind of the person behind Suga's little thing with bitter Gavv. We have to wait and see, because yeah, I can't wait to see her reaction to the fact that it's actually Niev most of the time who's been the problem. I would say the acting is pretty good. I like the Lakia actually getting angry and annoyed the fact that he finally found Comel killer but can't get his revenge, or the fact how weak he is, until next episode we get his final form. Hopefully we get to see how much interaction we have with Dente's memory, due to the little preview showing that, yeah, Dente led the recording, making me think that, yeah, planned to be dying anytime soon. So yeah, it'd be pretty good to see how much that motivates Shoma and Lakia to finally create the parfait a la mode Gojuso. But we have to wait and see. The action is pretty good. I really like the action between Glotta and Lakia civilian form before they transform. Pretty good to see. But other than that, nothing more to say. Can't wait to see more about Hanta investigating the family. And that's pretty funny if that guy, the Candy Man, actually Shoma's uncle or some sort of relative. And that he just be with Hanta being there. But yeah, we have to wait and see. I mean, come on, it had to be somebody important about the parents' grave of the Candy Man. It had to be somebody important. Come on. Overall, it was a pretty good episode. Not much to say. Could have went a little bit better with Glotta's motivation being revealed earlier and Dente's death being a little bit more impact. But maybe we'll have it next episode with Dente's impact. But anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Ready, go ahead and give it a 7.8 out of 10. What do you guys think? Do you like the episode or do you not? What do you think about Glotta's motivation? Do you think it should be revealed earlier? Are you sad about Dente's death, or are you expecting it anytime soon? Also, what do you think about Lakia getting angry and actually getting ready to defeat Glotta? And also, how do you feel about Glotta being Comel's killer? Do you believe it was actually Comel's killer, or do you really think it was somebody else and they just, wrote themselves to a corner and decided to make her the villain? Or Lakia to make it easier for them to write? It kind of feels like that, but we don't really see behind the scenes if that's really the case or not. Leave a comment down below and subscribe for more Kamen Rider Gavv content.